Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Subhanallah. Yeah. Alhamdulillah bil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. And we are continuing our session on Ismun Mu'awwal. As we know that an Ismun Mu'awwal is actually a noun that consists of either an ism with a sentence or a half with a sentence, yes, and the combination of that half and the isim mausul and its sentence or sila makes up your ismun mu'awwal, yeah, inshallah. So now that ism mu'awwal, yes, is of course something that is ma'rifah, yes, something that is known, because we are specifically talking about a noun that is being described. That means it's a particular noun, it's a definite noun, so it's always a ma'rifah noun in a sentence. We will have cases of nakira, we will see this later on, yes, there are always exceptions. So in a jumla ismiyah, these would be, yeah, the slot, this noun would be of course your mubtada or your habar, and a jumla fi'liyah, it can be a fa'il, maf'ul bihi, a maf'ul bihi sanin. We know that a jumla fi'liyah can have actually up to 3 maf'ul bihis, yes, but the norm is this, a maf'ul bihi by itself or just 2. Third maf'ul bihi is an exception, yeah, it's a rare case. Then we have mustasna, yeah, we have the mustasna, the thing that is being excluded. Now the Ismun Mu'awwal, yes, consists of the isim or half mausul and its sila. Okay, so it's a combination of both the half and isim mausul with their sila. Yeah, and when that's combined, it occupies the slot of a noun, which could either be a mubtada or a habar. Yeah, so we will see this. Now it's common when this happens, yeah, for a domirun fasil or mufasil to occur between them. Yes, sometimes we call it domirun nil fasil, or we also call it domirun munfasilun. Yeah, either way, either we look at it as an idafa or we look at it as mausuf and sifa. So we can have it here or we can have it here. Yes, so Allahu huwa alladhi khalaqani. Yes, Allah, He is the one that made me, yeah, or Allazi halakani huwa Allahu, yes, the one who made me, he is Allah. Yes, of course the translation won't be as what I say, it won't be literal as the way I said it. We saw that before, yes, we drop a few things, we basically drop the aid. And when this is the case when the isim mausul and sila is either mubtada or habar, okay, but when it is in this case, when the mubtada is an ismun mausul and sila, the habar may be preceded by a fa, yeah, when the mubtada itself is your ismun mu'awwal, yes, when the mubtada itself is the ismun mu'awwal, then you can have the habar being preceded by a fa. Yes, so here we see falahu ajrun azim. So this is your habar and this is your mubtada, which is in the form of an isim mausul and its sila, amana. And when we translate it, for the one who believes is a great reward. Yes, the fa is not really translated, but it shows that there is a connection between this sentence and the one before. Yeah, the one before. Any questions here? Okay, alhamdulillah, inshallah. Okay, so the tarkib will be like this. Yeah, the tarkib will be like this. We see the habar that's preceded by a fa, which we call it sila, a hafu sila or zaida, yes, and mubtada, which is allazi amana, and this is a complete sentence. The sila is a complete sentence with a fa'il. Yeah, and here as well, the habar itself is actually another jumla ismiyah with a habar muqaddam and mubtada mu'ahar. Yeah, So we can see that within a big sentence we can have two other sentences nested in it. Yeah, and we said that when we have a sentence like this, this is what we call indirectly nested, because we needed another isim or another harf to make this sentence fit into this slot, yeah, mubtada. So this is what we call indirect nesting. Whereas the case of the direct nested, we have seen it before, about 2 or 3 lessons ago, inshallah. So for the one who believes is a great reward. Yes, for the one who believes is a great reward. So mubtada, habar. Now, when the isim mausul and its sila is a fa'il, just now we were looking at either mubtada or khabar. Yes, now we're looking at a fa'il. What happens here? Yeah. We can translate it in two ways. It says here, immediately after the mausul, before the verb, after the verb. Okay, so immediately after the mausul, allazina ghabu ams, yeah, who were absent yesterday. Before the verb, which is ghabu, yes, and after the verb, yes, who were absent yesterday. Where is the translation? Lam is not yafhamil darsa. Okay, Sister Shiraz, could you tell me, yeah, which is which in these two translations? Your mic is muted. Sister Shiraz, is she there?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so which case is which? Which case is 1 and which case is 2 for these translations?
What was the query, sister? Sorry.
The question was, when we have a fa'il, that is in a form of a silah and mausul, right? How can the it says here the silah can be translated in two ways. The silah can be translated in two ways. Immediately after the mausul or after the verb. Yeah, so which case is which? Which is case 1 and which is case 2?
Who were absent yesterday? The first one?
So the first one, this is the first one, is it? Is this the first case?
Here down, right? Those who were absent yesterday have not understood the lesson.
Okay, so this is the first one you're saying?
Not able to see your cursor, sister.
Where's the silah? Where's the silah in the first place? Which is the silah in this sentence?
In this sentence, allazina is ism mausul and ghabu amsi is the sila for that.
Okay, right, good.
In this.
So it's in red, right? It's in red, who were absent yesterday. So this is the first case, yes? This is the first case. Yeah. Immediately after the mausul, we see the sila, we translate it, and then we go on with have not understood the lesson, yeah? And in this second case, after the verb, we said, the verb is of course not to understand the lesson. This is the action, right? So the sila is now immediately after the verb, yeah? Have not understood the lesson. So there are two ways we can translate this, yep? So this is the first case and this is the second case, yep? Alhamdulillah. Now let's do some exercises. Sister Qurratu Ain, are you able to do the translation for the first one? Are you able? Oh, sorry. Or is she not here? Oh no. Sister Shiraz? What about this?
It's muted, sister. I think so. Qurratu Ain sister's mic is muted.
Yes. I'm just wondering whether she is able to participate or not. I think she might be attending to her husband, so it's okay. So how would you?
Nasara.
Yeah.
nasara rajulu
Mm-hmm.
rajulur karimu.
Mm-hmm. And remember,
Karimul lati
allati and
allati zulimna.
so this
Allati zulimna. So
this
allati is isma mausul
mm-hmm.
and zulimna is silatul mausul,
Mm.
which is zalama yazlumuz. This is majhul.
Zulimna.
Zulimna.
Okay.
Ji.
But
So
when we
nasara
have
rajul.
allati and we have
Hmm. Hmm.
zulimna, right? What
Is silatul mausul.
so what does this indicate in terms of gender?
Feminine.
Eh,
This is feminine. Fele madi
mm-hmm.
majhul.
Yes.
Where the hunna is the file in this zulimna.
So now
Naibul file.
how would we translate this now? How would we translate this?
Okay,
Just
here
to
I think
reflect that
so.
this is ladies, okay? To reflect this is ladies.
Okay, ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the noble man, Rajula, a
Mm-hmm.
noble man, helped those female who were obsessed
Okay, who were
or
Zulim?
tortured or.
Yes, okay. That's well, I won't say tortured, but okay, Alhamdulillah. Yeah, who were wrong. Yeah, who were wrong.
Okay.
Remember when we
Achha.
say zalim, is someone who uh,
Wrong there.
yeah, put someone, no, takes away someone's rights. Yes, takes someone's. To be zalim is actually that, to remove someone's rights away from them. So this is quite good. Who were wronged is a good uh, translation. Yeah, but of course we always look at zalim as someone who is tyrannical, someone who is a tyrant, or as you say, who torture people and things like that. Yeah. So yeah, but zulm in essence is when you take the right of someone away. Yeah, then you will do that zalim. Yeah, even to yourself. You can do that to yourself when you don't fulfill your own rights. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oops. Yes, I wanted to know what was the role of uh, the ismu awal here.
It
Yeah.
was
So
maful bihi.
yes. So this
It
is
was
maful
maful
bihi.
bihi for the fail.
Yeah.
Ji.
Exactly. Yeah. Good. Right, now what about number 2? What about number 2? Sister Qarata,
Ahmadu.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yes, can you do the second one? Okay.
Yeah. Um, أحمد هو الذي رأيته في السوق.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I first translate or?
Yes, translate first
Yeah.
and then let us know what is the role.
Okay. Ahmed, he's the one. I saw him in the market.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't quite understood the concept.
Okay.
So yeah.
So if I give you the translation here, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Ahmad is the one whom I saw in the market. You got to remember.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In this case, we have a break here, yeah, because this is Ahmadu and Huwa. So normally
That's
we
right.
have a break in the chain, there is an is, yeah. And
Mhm.
then, of course, we drop here the Huwa because we already have
Mhm.
Al-Lazi, yeah, in our
Mhm.
translation. So Ahmad
That's
is the
right.
one whom I saw in the
Yes.
market. So
Mhm.
what is this then? What slot is this?
Um, um, is it? It's a Mosul and Sila. That's what I can see.
Yes, but the isim
And
also
it's
and
also
sila. What
and the
is?
khabar.
Yes, that's right. It's the haba. Yeah, it's the haba.
Mhm.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, so this is the haba because it's the expression is after the word is. Yeah, is. Okay, alhamdulillah.
Mhm.
Okay, Sister Shiraz, allazi ra'aytuhu.
الذي رأيته في المسجد هو أحمد. الذي the person me Allazi. I mean, Ra'aytuhu. He, the person whom I saw in masjid, is Ahmad.
Mm-hmm. So what's the isim mausul and the sila?
Allazi is ism mausul and Ra'aytuhu fil masjidi is silatul mausul.
Mm-hmm.
So these two will be mubtada
Mm.
and Huwa Ahmad again will be the khabar, is the khabar where Huwa will be mubtada and Ahmad will be the khabar of that.
Oh yes, good. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. So the one I saw in the mosque is Ahmad. So this whole thing is our mubtada. Good, excellent. And the last one on this exercise, Sister Qurratu Ain. هل رأيت. Your mic is muted.
Sorry, I was away. Okay, inshallah. هل رأيت الذي رأيته في الحديقة؟
You know what hadithah is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
okay.
Orchard, yes.
Oh, good.
Yes. Did you see the one? Did you see the one I saw in the orchard?
Mm. So what do you think الذي رأيته في الحديقة is in this sentence?
Is the مفعول به?
Yes, it is the
No.
maf'ul bihi. Good.
Mm.
All right. Alhamdulillah. Sorry, that should be a lam, not an alif.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
alhamdulillah.
so because I missed something, then which one? We are still on the topic of ism muawwal, yes.
We are still doing, yes, ism mu'awwal.
So then which one will be called the ism muawwal here?
Ism mu'awwal would be the combination of the ism mausul and its sila. This whole thing will be your ism mu'awwal.
Okay, I got it now. Okay,
Alright,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So yeah, I'm here, but in about 10 minutes I won't be participating at all because my husband will come through the door. So inshallah, I'm here for 10 minutes, inshallah. And even then, I'm trying to do 100 things around me, but I will try to be attentive, inshallah.
Inshallah, alhamdulillah. Okay. So Sister Shiraz is going to do a marathon today. So here just now we were looking at Ismu Mu'awwal that was in a sentence, okay? In a sentence. Now we're going to look at Ismu Mu'awwal that is in a phrase in a sentence, okay? So let's have a look. What do we mean by this? So as a ma'rifah noun in a phrase. Okay, so the slots in a phrase, of course, we know include musharun ilayh, yeah, musharun ilayh, yeah. And remember, whenever we have a musharun ilayh and it is followed by something that is al, yes, then and only then is a musharun ilayh. Yeah, we have ismu ishara and then we have musharun ilayh. If there is no al, then what happens to your ishara, ism ishara is that it becomes a mubtada. Yeah, and what follows your ism ishara is now a habar. Yeah, so we would not say this man, that guy, that lady, or no, we would just be this is a man, or this is a lady. Yep. So I think you remember that ruling, but we would just remind ourselves. Yes, it has been mentioned previously that for it to be a musharun ilai, it must have an al. However, remember I said that we have al to make a word ma'rifah, but we use an isim mausul to make a sentence ma'rifah. Yeah, so we don't have to have an al when we are dealing with allazi, allati. Yeah, we don't have to have that al. Why? Because the allazi, allati itself makes what follows it ma'rifah already. Yeah, so here, a phrase with alazi or sisters can also become musharun ilaih. The exception here is man and ma. Yeah, these isim mausuls can't do this. Only the others, alazi and its sisters, but not ma and man. That's the exception to this rule. But we will see how it's used, yeah? We will see how it's used. The man and ma later. The other slot that it can become is your mudafun ilayh. Yeah, mudafun ilayh, the isim majrur, as well as the na'tun of a ma'rifah word. Now, we've always said that if you have a sentence after a nakirah word, it's sifah, and if you have a sentence after a ma'rifah word, it's hal. This was how we learned it, yeah? Now, I'm going to ask you to open your mind to this concept now that it's not necessarily hal. It can also be a sifah, yeah? Even though it's a sentence that follows a ma'rifah word. But of course, this is a phrase, yeah? Okay, na'tun of a ma'rifah word. Okay, so let's see where the difference is. Now we look at the combination as na'tun. Yeah, ism mu'awwal as a na'tun. Yes? If a ma'rifah word is followed by a sentence which gives more information regarding the word, it'll become the na'tun. Yeah, it'll become the na'tun. That means the ma'rifah word is now your man'ud, yeah, or your mawsuf. So here we have ar-rajulu. This is ma'rifah because of alif lam, and it matches. This is also now becoming ma'rifah because of the allazi, yeah. And we're talking about the man, basically. So the man who came from the village. So basically, it agrees in all the four properties that needs to agree with. Okay. So here we do the tarkib. We see here the big one, the man'ud, and the na'tun. Yeah, the na'tun itself is a mausul and the sila. Here's the mausul and sila. Yes. And then the sila is a sentence. Here is a jumla fi'liyah with its fi'il, fa'il and maf'ul fihi. And the maf'ul fihi is of course ja and majrur. Yes, ja and majrur. So here I'm just highlighting that only alazi and its sisters can form part of the na'tun. The words man and ma cannot form part of the na'tun. So if there is ma and man and it's behaving like an isim mausul, this is not a ma'tun anymore. Yes, this is not ma'tun anymore. So we'll see what it becomes later. Now let's do a little exercise just to see whether we are on the same page. Okay. Nashkurullaha alladhi an'ama alayna. Sister Shiraz, how would we translate this?
Nashkurullaha allazi an'ama alayna. Nashkuru, we thank Allah who an'ama alayna.
We can say to bestow, yeah, but to bestow, to B-E-S-T-O.
Okay, who has bestowed upon us.
Okay. So yeah, usually when we have an'ama, we are talking about ni'mah, yeah. So an'am, but because it's family 4, we say it's bestowed is blessings upon us, yeah. Thank Allah. Are you able to participate? No, Sister Quratan is just listening, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, I am here.
Okay.
Here. I will be here for as long as I can.
Okay, inshallah.
Is there a chat function here which can tell you? Okay, then I will put in the chat that I am no longer available. Okay,
yes.
when I'm not available.
Yes, thank you. All right,
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
Okay. جاء الرجل الذي نصر أخاك. The man who helps your brother has come.
Yes, good. Yes, the man who helped your brother has come. In this case, Ustad, you supported. And Sister Shiraz, here we go. Inna Allaha yuhibbul ladhi yuhafuhu wa yuti'uh.
Okay, and indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves a person who is who
Fear.
fears him
Yeah.
and who obeys him.
Yes. Good. Yeah, so it's present tense. Surely Allah loves those who fear and obey Him. Yeah? And here we go. Sister Quratul Ain. This is from the Quran.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. وَاعْبُدُوا وَاعْبُدُوا رَبَّكُمُ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُم. You worship, like is Jama. All of you should worship, or worship Allah worship your Lord or Sustainer, who created you and those before you.
Yes, good. This is, of course, from Surah Baqarah. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, okay, Alhamdulillah. Good. So now, a bit of talk here. I'm just going to do some things. I'm just going to talk for a bit, yeah? Sentence na'atun of nakira and ma'rifah words. Like I said, apparently now the na'tun, yeah, when you have it as a sentence, it can be a na'at for both nakira and ma'rifah words, yeah? So this is where our minds have to expand a bit. It's not always hal and sifa, but we can also have sifa for both ma'rifah and nakira, and we see when this occurs. Okay, so when a sentence occurs as a na'tun of a ma'rifah word, a definite word, it must be preceded by an ismun mawsul. Yes, this is the condition. Yeah, this is the condition. When you see a sentence with an ismun mawsul, then in all likelihood, yeah, that's sifa, not hal. Okay, in all likelihood, that is sifa. Now, when the sentence becomes the na'tun of a nakirah word, then an ismun mausul is not required. Yes? This is the other case. This is what we always say. Yeah, we always say this. When we see a nakiri word, what comes after it must be sifa. But when you see an ismun mausul in it, yeah, then it is no longer a hal. Yeah, it becomes a na'tun. So, al-kitabul ladhi qara'atuhu, the book that I read. Yes, so where is the sifa? That I read. Yeah, the one that I read. And then kitabun qara'tuhu, a book that I read. So this both are still your sifa. Yeah, that I read. Okay, let's just put I put a little table here for you to look at. Yeah. And let's just go through this. We can have a sifa after a single word or after a sentence. Yeah. So in this case, it can be direct. No need to have an ism mausul. But for this case, when it's a sentence and it's ma'rifah, you must have an ism mausul. Yeah. Otherwise, nakira directly. Don't need an ism mausul. Yeah. So this was the rule that we learned before. This is now something special. Yeah. You can have a na'tun after a ma'rifah word, but the condition is there has to be an ismum mausul before the sentence. Then, of course, the other cases that we saw, that you have to have an a'id that goes back to the man'ud. Yeah. And it's translated with a relative pronoun, like we saw all the al-aziz, al-atis, yes, and al-tani, al-taini, and all that, translated after the man'ud. Yes, translated after the man'ud. Remember, if it's a single word, we would have it before the man'ud, right? In English, we say it's a red car, but in Arabic, we'll say car that is red, right? The red comes after the word car in Arabic, but in English, the believing man, for example, here, right, the word al-mu'min in Arabic comes after the word, not before, not like how we read an English sentence. However, when it is a in the form of an ism awal, then the man who believes, this comes after what you're describing. Yeah, it comes after what you're describing, so it kind of follows the English way as well. All right. Yeah. Okay. Oops, sorry, this should not be there, but yeah, never mind. The badal of man or ma and their sila. Okay, the badal of man and ma or the sila. This is when they are both isim mausuls. Now, the isim mausul of man or ma and the sila may have a badal in the form of a shibhu jumla. And shibhu jumla, which shibhu jumla? Remember, we have two types. The one that is with a half of jar min, a specific half of jar, not just any half of jar, but with the half of jar min. Okay. So this min is what we call minal bayaniyah. Sorry, minal bayaniyah. Yes. And this min is what we say clarifies ism mausul, from the word bayan. And the isim mausul and majrur are translated as follows. So we have the majrur, and then we use either who or that, and then we put the sila. Yeah, this is how we would arrange the sentence. So what is majrur? Who, that, and then the sila. So let's have a look at some examples. Okay. So here, what we did see in the previous slide, we said the majrur isim, who, that, and its sila. Okay, so now this is, where's the isim majrur here? Does it follow?
Min malin.
Yeah,
Min malin.
yes. So does it follow the pattern that we saw here? Where's the sila? Let's have a look at the sila. Okay, let's look at the sila. The sila is after ma, right? Ma razaqakallah, yeah, that Allah granted you. And we said that this was supposed to be behind, and this was in front, right? This is what it says here. The, who, that, sila. So here, the wealth that Allah granted you. So this is your sila. This is the translation, yeah. This is the Arabic way of writing. So this is your sila, and the wealth is the what we said before in the translation, the majrur, yeah, which is min, as we see it here. Min malin, yeah, min malin. The wealth comes before, the majrur comes before. Then we have the word that followed by the sila. So this does follow what the guide that Ustad has given us just now. Okay. So here's our mawsul. This is its sila. The sila itself is a sentence, fi'il, with a maf'ul bihi and fa'il. This is the only case where we see, yeah, when we have a pronoun or dhamir that's attached to a fi'il, then we break the usual rule of fi'il, fa'il, maf'ul bihi. Yeah, this is the only time when we have an attached pronoun. So this is sila, and this is mubdalun minhu, yeah, what we are talking about, the badal. So we are saying that the wealth is the same thing as what Allah granted you. Yes, so that's basically what we're saying when we say badal, in the place of what Allah granted you, the wealth, and the wealth is what Allah granted you. So it's the one and same thing. That's why we say this is mubdalun minhu and this is badal. Now, there's something also called nakiratul mawsufa. Yeah, this is what we have always learned. When the word before the sifah is nakira. Yeah. The words ma and man usually have a ma'rifah meaning. Yeah, this is the twist here in this under this topic. Someone or something known. However, they can also have a nakirah meaning, that is someone or something unknown. So in this case, it will be classified as nakiratun mausufatun, a noun which is followed by a na'tun. Okay, this is the simple case that we saw just now. So uhibbu may yajtahidu. Yeah, uhibbu may yajtahidu. Sister Shiraz, how would you translate this?
I I like or I love the person
Mm-hmm.
who is hardworking.
Yes, beautiful. I think everyone likes that, right? A hardworking person. Alhamdulillah. So here we have uhibbu, our fi'il and fa'il, and our maf'ul bihi is the one who works hard. Yes, the one who works hard. And this itself, the na'tun here, yeah, or we can say the sila as well, is fi'il and fa'il. It's a complete sentence. Yeah, it's a complete sentence. So now, in this example, man here can be interpreted in both ways, yeah, as a ma'rifah or a nakirah. If the one who works hard is referring to a particular person, then man would be ma'rifah, and then it can be classified as ism mawsul. Yeah. If, however, if we translate it as one who works hard, yeah, one who works hard rather than the one who works hard, yes, because we're treating this not as an ism mawsul, then the man would just be what we call a nakirah mawsufah. We see this in the i'rab books. Yes, when we do i'rab of certain things, I do not know whether you remember, Sister Shiraz, that we have come across this where they call man as a nakirah mawsufah rather than an ism mawful. Yeah, this is what it means. Yeah, basically, because when we translate, we're looking at someone who's, in general, anyone who works hard, rather than the one who works hard.
Okay.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
The one. Okay. Ji.
Alhamdulillah. So let's see this other thing that some extra things that he has given us. Alhamdulillah. This is very good, Ustad. Subhanallah. So sometimes ma and man are used to mean some. Okay, some. Now this is something that we can tell from the context. Yeah, so sometimes we have to think about what we are saying or what is being conveyed to us. Yeah, this occurs when ma and man and their sila or na'tun becomes what we call mubtada mu'ahhar when it's brought forward. Yes, sorry, when it's delayed. The mubtada is delayed and the khabar is brought forward. Yeah, and the khabar muqaddam is made up of min and majroor. We see this a lot of times in the Quran. Yes, we see this a lot of times in the Quran. So this is a structure that shouldn't be strange to us. Yeah. So look at the example below. Minkum man yuridu dunya. Yeah. So this way we can translate it as some. Yeah. From amongst you, or we can say from amongst you. This is like saying some of you. Yeah. Another way of saying some of you, a more posh way of saying some of you. There are those who desire the world. Yeah, so some of you desire the world, or from amongst you, min kum. Yeah, there are those who desire the world. Yeah, so this is a case of when the word ma and man is no longer who, but more some. Yeah, more with the meaning of some. Oh, okay, it shook. Okay, now this is just a summary of what ma can be. Yeah, when we come across ma in the Quran, it can be mausulah, it can be istifhamiyah, it can be nafiyah, and it can be mushabbahatun bilaisa, meaning it is like half of nafs. Yeah, bilaisa with the meaning where it has a isim and a khabar. Yes, it has a isim and a khabar, and the isim of a mushabbaha, what is the status of that? It's marfu', yes, and the khabar is mansub. So if we have something like this, ma al-waladu kaziban, yeah, ma al-waladu kaziban, this is a masdar. How would we translate this one if we take it as mushabbah bilaisa? Sister Quratul Ain, do you know? How would we translate this? Your mic is muted. Maybe she cannot hear us. Sister Shiraz?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm here.
You're
No, I
thinking.
I went to the door, but it's a false alarm. So what's the question again?
Subhanallah. May
Hmm.
Allah reward you.
Um,
Yes.
okay, so what's the question? Sorry.
Yes, how would you translate this? Yes, when ma
Mm-hmm.
is treated as a mushabbahatun bilaisa.
Okay. Okay. When oh, this one. Okay. Waladu kadiban.
Mm.
Um. The boy is not a liar.
Yes, excellent. MashaAllah. Yes, the boy is not a liar. So here the isim, yes, of ma is marfu, and the habar of ma is kaziban, yeah, just like what Laisa would do. Okay, now, if ma is nafiya, it is usually followed by a verb, either madin or mudari. And how we translate is depends on whether it is a past tense or a present tense. So would like Sister Shiraz to try this out. So if this is a present tense, how would I translate this? Sister Shiraz.
Ma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just. Oh, the screen is small. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, can you? I can't
ma
expand.
ma yukazzibul waladu.
Ma
Uh,
yukazibul walad.
kazzara. Ma is nafiya. So here kazzaba yukazzibu waladu. The boy isn't lying.
Yes, the boy is not a liar. Yes, alhamdulillah. Now, if it's a past tense, then how would I translate it? Now it's kazzaba, no longer yukazibu.
The boy didn't lie.
Yes, the boy did not lie. Yeah, did not lie. Now, if I want to make this same sentence, the boy did not lie. Yeah, instead of ma, what could I have used here? If I
La.
want,
La.
well, it would still be is not with la, yeah. But there's another one when it becomes yukazib. Yukazib. When this
Is
becomes
it for Nafia?
majzum. More like more like negation, but pushed into past tense. It is
Lam.
yes, lam
Lam.
yukazib.
Lam yukazzib
Yeah,
bil walad.
yeah. So did not lie. Yep. So this is something we should be aware of. Yeah, we should be aware. Okay, now istifham, yeah, istifham, yeah. Sister Quratul Ain, followed by a single noun or a jumlatu fi'liyah. Okay, if it is a single noun like this, mal kadhibu, how would I translate this? It's a question. I never know. Your mic is muted, Sister Quratul Ain. Are you there? Mal kadhibu. How do I translate this? No, I think. Sister Shiraz, you want to try?
Who lied? Who
Ma,
lied? Who lied?
ma is normally not who.
Ma. Okay. This is kazzibu, sister.
Yes.
Al-kazzibu.
Yes, this is
Elayya.
it's still masdar, yeah. It's still a noun.
Okay, so noun. Okay.
It's a
Ma will be
question.
who?
It's a question, so how would we say?
Yeah, who is a liar? Who is a liar?
But it's not who, it's ma. You're close, you're very close. but not who. I'm
Ma
looking.
is what?
Yeah.
What is a lie?
Yes, what is a lie? Alhamdulillah,
Is a
what
lie.
is a lie?
Ach.
Yeah.
Correct.
So now, if it's followed by a jumla fi'liya, like this case, yes, this is a sentence, qala waladu, and there's a ma, how would I translate
Mhm.
this?
What did the boy say?
Yes. What did the boy say? Yeah, what did
Boy
the boy
say.
say? Yeah, qala, because it's past tense, and so we would say,
Past.
what did the boy say? Yeah, we won't say, what is the boy saying, right? For example, unless it's yaqulu. Okay, then of course we have the ma that we're looking at, the ma mausula, yeah, and there are slots that it can fit in. Yeah, we saw that as well. So in this case, for example, ma katabta sahihun, ma katabta sahihun. Yes, so I would translate this as, oops, what you wrote is correct. Yeah, so this is mubtada and this is habar. Yeah, so this is mubtada and this is habar. What you wrote is correct. Yeah, that's one. Or maybe another way we can use it, fa'alat ma sahihun. How would we translate this one, Sister Shiraz? فعلت ما صحيح.
What you did?
فعلت what?
Fa'alat is feminine.
Mhm,
Is feminine.
mhm.
Sahihu. Okay, you did. नहीं नहीं. Fa'alat. Sahi. Right thing done. Ma sahihu. Fa'alat is the work done, right?
This is
Done.
to do.
The
Yes,
work
to
done.
do. فعلت
To
is
do.
to do. So
Okay.
what
So
did she
here ma
do?
will be like Mosul, sister.
Mhm. What did she
I have to
do?
take it as
What did she do?
she did what's right.
Yes, that's
What is
right.
right?
Yeah, she did
Achha.
what was right. Okay, good. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Sister Korata Ain is
I was
smiling away.
Yeah,
going the
yeah, I
other
know.
way.
I'm
I
smiling
thought
myself. Hmm.
because here can be outside doer, so ma sahihu can be a file for falat. So I was
Yeah.
thinking in that way, like so ma is a Mosul, sahihu should be sahih silatul Mosul. So these two in thing will go for a file. So,
Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
So
Yeah, Sister Shiraz is mashallah because everything is down to her now. So she has her brain is working faster.
very well indeed.
Mashallah, Allahumma barik.
Subhanallah.
Hmm.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, now we've been talking about ismu mu'awwal, which is an isim, right? With meaning that when I say ismu mu'awwal is an isim, but we're talking about the ones with an isim mausul. Now we're going to look at the ones with the harfun mausul. Yes, I'm just going to introduce it to you because I think our time is almost up. But it's nice to know what are the huruf mausula that we are going to look at when we come back next Wednesday, inshallah. So there are two types
sure.
of harfu mausulun. Yes, I think we saw this on one of the slides before. Unrestricted, unrestricted, meaning any harfu mausul can go in these slots. Yes, but this one only certain halves can go in, and for certain slots only when it's restricted. Yeah. So this one is open, this is closed. Unrestricted ones, I think you know this, yes. There are three main ones that we will look at. Ana, ma, which we have been doing, and an. This is another famous one. The one that's restricted is kai. Yes, so kai. So we'll be looking at these four cases, inshallah. Yeah, maybe we can do Anna for tonight and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so this is our mushabbahatun bil fi'il, yes, your nasab, which is followed by its isim and khabar. Yes, of course the isim is mansub, the khabar is marfu, and it's used when the sentence after it is in the indicative mood. Now with fi'ils, with fi'ils, we learn that in English we have these three moods, yes, which is jasif, indicative, and subjunctive. Yes, jasif, jusif or jasif, indicative, and subjunctive. In terms of isms, when we talk about it in English, Yes, we talk about nominative. What else? Genitive. One more. Can anyone think of the third one? Nominative, genitive. What is the third
And
one?
accusative.
Yes,
And
accusative.
Well,
accusative.
Accusative is mansub. This is the biggest group of all. Yeah, the mansub isims. Yeah, the biggest group. Alhamdulillah. So here we go. Oops. So we have annaka la takzib. Yeah, annaka la takzib. So anna is translated usually as that. Yeah, you do not lie. Yeah. So this is your half nasab or harfun mushabbahun bil fi'il, and this is also your harfun mawsul. But the sila, as you see, is its isim and the habar together. And the habar itself is a jumlah fi'liyah. Yeah? And that's the translation. Annaka la ta'zim. See, this la does not do anything to your mudari. Yeah, it's غير عامل. Okay. Then we have ma. Ma is غير عامل. It's just like your la. Yeah. And we have here ma tasduku. Ma tasduk. And here is your mawsul. The sila itself a jumlah fi'liyah. And ma tasduk, that you speak the truth. Yeah, tasduk is to speak the truth. And this can be translated in two different ways. We can say that you speak the truth by adding that before the verb. Yeah, and the subject you is also mentioned before the verb when you translate. Of course, when you write it, it's in there. It's built in. Or you can say you're speaking the truth. Yes, we make the verb a gerund by adding ing at the back. Yeah, this is like masdar here. And the subject mentioned before the gerund, and it indicates possession. You're speaking. Yeah, you're speaking. That's why it's possession. You're speaking the truth helped us or something like that. Yeah, it might be in a bigger sentence that we don't see. Or you can just drop the your and say speaking the truth. Yeah, speaking the truth helps. Yeah, something like that. All right. I'll just do this one more slide and then we can go. Ma as an isim or harf. Yes. When ma is used as an isim also, it will have a noun meaning. Yeah. When it's used as harf mawsul, it will have a verb meaning. Okay, I'll go over this again when we continue next week. So this is just a quick one. In many cases, ma can be interpreted as both. Have we seen this so many times when we did the Iraq of Surah Yasin? Yes, we saw how ma could be interpreted as both. So here we have ma tasuduk, that you speak the truth. So this is an action when ma is harf masdari. Yeah, and ma ta'tub, what you write, that you write. Yes, when it's used as an ism mawsul. Yeah, so here we go. All right. I've also put a summary here that you can look at on your good time. Yes, and some things that I have mentioned here, inshallah. We will do this again next week, and we'll continue, and we'll do some more exercises, and we'll see how the half mawsulun, yeah, half masdari, fits into things as well. Yeah, we have not done that yet, so we'll see when it behaves like a fa'il and so on and so forth, inshallah. Okay, any questions before we leave? Inshallah. It's all good, and sometimes it's nice to know where all the understanding that we got when we do our Iraq comes from, and it's nice to see it being written down. And I really admire the way Ustad has done it. Ustad Hashim Muhammad has a very clear approach of doing things. Alhamdulillah. Okay then, ladies. Subhanallah wa bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Amin wa iyyakum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan.
Alhamdulillah.